Thank you to Scribe for sponsoring this video. More about it later on. Hey, what's up? Alex here. As you can see from my video thumbnail, Google Home is finally decent to be used as your main smart home platform. That's after they have made lots of good updates to the Google Home app at the back of last year just a few months ago. Today, for my fellow Singapore users, you're still not able to see the changes, but if you opt to participate in their public preview program, you'll then be able to see the whole new interface and try out the new features in the app. Although it is now decent to be used, there are still a lot of limitations which I will talk about it in a short while. Similar to my previous video on Apple HomeKit, here's the video link if you have not watched it. I'm going to share which product from which company exactly should you buy for all the device types for a Google Smart Home in view of all the current updates. Okay, so here's a quick recap of what are the different device types I've classified under core smart home devices and what falls under optional. For core devices, we have smart switches, smart lighting, sensors and buttons, smart plugs or outlets, IR, RF remotes, and window treatment, which can be either curtain or blinds or even both like my case. Under my optional devices, it includes speakers or smart displays and TV. These are home entertainment related. For security related devices, we have smart doorbells, smart door locks, and security cameras. I also include a mesh Wi-Fi system as well, since your home network is the backbone for all smart home, and mesh has increasingly become the consumer default standard now. Okay, Google Home. It's a very simple, user-friendly platform. Their direct competitor in the smart home space is Amazon. Because Amazon does not have much presence in the Southeast Asia region, we see most people here going with Google Home. I find it most suitable for beginners who want to get started with some smart home devices, don't want to spend much time to figure out how a smart home works, and also if you just want a very low cost budget setup that just works. You don't need to buy anything to start using Google Home. Unlike for Apple HomeKit, you will want to get the Home Hub. This is because 99% of the integrations for Google Home is cloud to cloud, very dependent on internet connections. So basically what that means is you access your Google Home, backend it sits on a Google server. The Google server will then make a connection to the device manufacturer server to control your devices. The number of devices from each of these apps that will be integrated to Google Home will be shown here. In the past, there's no way you can set automation rules based on the state of a device. Everything has to be triggered using voice assistant or a fixed schedule. With the new update, you now have an option to create a household routine. This will allow you to add a trigger based on a device state. Let me quickly run you through what are the devices you can set trigger. There are blinds, displays, doorbells, fans, lights, outlets, speakers, switches, TVs, and many of the kitchen appliances. So you can see not all device types, especially sensors, are supported at the moment. And even within a certain device type, not all brands are supported as well based on my testing. With all these limitations on Google Home, my recommendation for the core devices is very straightforward. Just go with all Tuya Zigbee products. This is because Tuya has the widest range of devices out there. They have an OEM business model, so many companies will rebrand and repackage them to sell. Regardless of which companies you buy from, as long as they are Tuya products, you can then add all of them inside the Smart Life app. Then create your automations and scenes there, then sync over to Google Home to create your voice-triggered routines. For smart switches, you can check out the products from Moes. They are quite a popular company with global presence. I like their new Starring switches. Quality feels very good, not those cheap plastic. It has two color options, white or grey, a nice light indicator in front, and a very soft clicky sound. For smart lighting, Tuya has the complete range of downlights and all the different bulb sizes. If you want, you still can get those special lighting from companies like Philips Hue, Nanoleaf, Govi, and Yeelight. But note that you can't use Tuya sensors to control those lights inside Google Home. However, there's a workaround if you can find another device to act like a proxy. For example, when my Tuya motion sensor detects motion, I want to turn on my kitchen switch as well as my Nanoleaf lines. So in my Google Home, since I can't select the motion sensor as a starter, I will use the kitchen switch instead. If that is on, then switch on the Nanoleaf lines. For buttons, Moes have those 4-gang scene switches, very useful. Near SG has a smaller one with like PlayStation icons on it. That's very nice as well. For smart sockets, only Tuya have those smart power strips with USB. You can control each of the outlets separately. Then of course you have individual smart sockets. You can get those with power monitoring features. For IRR remotes, you can choose those that comes with only IR if you don't need RF for some rooms. They are slightly cheaper. Their devices are usually very small, like this one from Near. You can place it behind the TV or under the table. Just play around with the position to hide it somewhere. For window blinds or curtains, you can check out the products from ZemiSmart. Both their motorized and retrofit solutions are very popular. Many review videos, you can go check them out. Okay, so one thing about Tuya devices is since they are very cheap, don't have the expectation that they are going to last you like 5 or 10 years. These take-in smart plugs that I have all dead after around 2 years. I also have a couple of smart bulbs. These doesn't have any brands, bought them for less than 10 bucks, dead as well. So I suggest to buy from recognized brands like Moes, ZemiSmart. You can also look for local companies that OEM Tuya products. In Singapore, there is quite a number of them. I would say at least 10, such as Near, Mowe, Gannon, Kobo, all these. Usually they have local warranty support, so that's a plus point. Okay, moving to the optional devices, let's start with smart speakers. Over here, I got the Google Nest Audio, Belkin, Sonos, and a Bose soundbar. All of them are enabled with the Google Assistant, so you can trigger your voice commands. But not all of them can be configured as a speaker group inside the Google Home app. So basically all can except for the Sonos. So I would suggest you to get one that you are able to create a whole home audio system. The audio quality of the Nest Audio is okay, not great. I would suggest looking at third-party speakers. But if audio quality is not important, you just need the Google Assistant, then you can get the very cheap Nest Mini. For smart display, try to get at least one of these Google Nest Hub. These are not bad considering the price is the same as the Nest Audio. You can consider mounting one to a partition wall using a special mounting kit. It then acts like a dashboard control for your smart home. For TV, there is the Chromecast with Google TV. It is good in consolidating all your streaming apps together, and you are able to use Google Assistant to play the show you want to watch without going into the individual app. But in terms of the smart home features, there isn't much compared to the Apple TV. If you already have a smart TV, then you probably don't get much value from the Chromecast. Next, for the doorbell, I highly recommend getting the Google Nest doorbell. Actually, the same applies to their cameras. We can talk about them together since Google put them under the same category. With the new app, under Favorites, you are able to pin all your camera live views there. This is super convenient as this is the first screen you will see when you launch the app. Going to the camera history, you can easily access the timeline to check the events and also filter results based on all the cameras you have. Individually on the product itself, I find they work very well. Design-wise, one of the best looking, and price is also reasonable. With Nest Aware subscription, you can even get more value for all your Nest cameras. As for Smart Door Lock, if you're on a budget, you can get the Tuya ones, and with them inside the Smart Life app together with your other core devices, you can do some automations there. But if you're concerned about the product quality or prefer a brand that specializes in doing door locks, then get the locks from Ale instead. For Wi-Fi mesh system, here's the old Google Nest Wi-Fi that is based on Wi-Fi 5. And recently, they have released the Google Nest Wi-Fi Pro with Wi-Fi 6E support. My recommendation for the old Google Nest is you can't do a wired mesh backhaul. You're planning to get some of the Google Nest Mini in some of the rooms. And most importantly, you got a very good second-hand deal with this, then go for it. For the new Google Nest Wi-Fi Pro, sadly, they removed the smart speaker feature on the mesh points. The selling point for it over the other brands is the different color options, or you just want something very simple, everything controlled within the Google Home app. Other than that, looking at something at a similar price range, but with better performance and more control to your network, I would recommend the TP-Link Deco system. Okay, one last bonus device type I would like to share is kitchen appliances like your hob and hood, oven and heaters. I'm not sure whether this is available in your country, but in Singapore, we have these Tuya smart kitchen appliances from Kuche and Mowe. You can remotely turn them on and off, set timers, or even set automation with a smoke detector to turn off everything for safety purposes. On my Google Home routine, I can set whenever my bathroom light is on during a specific time, then switch on my heater. Although they are smart, the price is actually very affordable. If you're looking to set up a smart kitchen, definitely check them out. Okay, here's the summarized full list of my recommendations. So overall, my strategy for Google Home as of today is go with Tuya for all the core devices because integration is very important among them. Tuya products are super cheap, but try to get those that have reviews or from a local company that provides warranty coverage. For the optional devices, go with Google branded ones if you like to have all of them integrated and configured within the Google Home app. But I would highly recommend getting their doorbells and cameras. If you are on a tight budget, then get the Tuya ones. Right now, Google is very focused on adding Matter support. It's nice to see them still making updates, adding new features, and improving the UI by a lot. I believe there will be a web browser version of the Google Home in the future. Following this simple guide that I've created, go to your Chrome browser and navigate to home.google.com. You are then able to see your camera's live view over here. You can turn them on and off, change view, zoom in and out, and even make use of the mic to communicate directly here. This guide is created using Scribe, and I want to say a massive thank you to them for sponsoring this week's video. So Scribe is a tool that allows you to easily make step-by-step documentation guides of a process that you are performing on a web browser or on your desktop within minutes. The reason why it is able to do this so quickly is because they have a recorder feature. Once you start recording, you will perform the process as how you would do it normally. Behind the scenes, the tool is capturing all the screenshots, mouse clicks, and keyboard actions. Once you're done, stop recording and it will automatically generate out the steps for you nicely. You can go back to each of these steps to make some amendments to the description, play around with the image editing. You can also add in things like a tip bar, an alert bar, or even a GIF. Once done, you can simply share out the link or export this out as a PDF or HTML file. I see this tool being very useful for teachers, trainers, or technical writers where you need to produce a lot of setup manuals, tutorials, and practical lab guides, or simply for any working professionals where you need to document down your internal process. For myself, my work is to help companies automate their processes, so this is super useful and easy to get them to share this with me and help me to understand their processes better, as it also includes collaboration features. If you're interested, start by downloading their Chrome extension for free and try it out yourself. Go to scribe.how/alexteo for more information or use the link in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe as always, and I will see you next time. Bye.